What is up, YouTube? Welcome back to Nerd Media. With Captain America Brave New World releasing this past weekend, it really made me question who are some of my favorite MCU characters, because I don't feel like I've ever really truly asked myself that question before. I've just kind of said that, yeah, that character's really awesome. That character may be my favorite, but I've never definitively decided who my favorite MCU characters are. So in this video, I'll be diving into my top 10 favorite MCU characters after Brave New World, and I will be counting characters like the Netflix universe and the Sony Spider-Man universe and the Fox universe, because they are all technically MCU canon now, so there may be some of those characters in there. So I want to know from you guys in the comments down below, before I dive into my ranking, what's your ranking and who are your top 10 and favorite MCU characters? Let me know in the comments down below, and don't forget to like and subscribe and turn on notifications and share this with your friends. With all that being said, let's dive into my ranking. So I'm going to be doing 5 honorable mentions for this because a lot of the MCU characters are just so good. So my first honorable mention is going to go to Shuri. I think that her character being on here may be a shock to some people, but seeing her story and the journey that she goes on in Wakanda Forever just made me love that character 10 times more than I previously did. And now I'm excited and I hope that we see her in the Avengers films because I really do enjoy her as Black Panther. My second honorable mention is going to go to Killmonger. I love his story and I love his character. He is one of the best and most well written MCU villains, and he is just so good. And it just his performance and his character just elevates the first Black Panther movie a lot. My third honorable mention is going to go to Kamala Khan. I loved her character. I think that's one of the best things we got from Marvel in 2022, and her character carried the Marvels. Her character is overall just so awesome. It's so fun to watch. I love her family and that we get to see in the Marvels and in Miss Marvel. It's overall just such a fun character, and I'm really bummed that they changed her powers a little bit, but I can get past that, and I really do enjoy her character a lot. But my last honorable mention is going to go to Hugh Jackman's Wolverine. Seeing him in Deadpool and Wolverine was awesome in that comic accurate suit. And just seeing him just be able to be that unhinged Wolverine that we wanted to see, and that's been held back in the PG-13 films, was really awesome. And I really think that he's perfect for that role. And I'm hoping that we get to see him in Avengers and in Secret Wars. Number 10 is going to go to Bucky. I love this character, and the journey that he goes on from Winter Soldier up until now has just been so awesome to watch, and we get some of the most emotional MCU moments with him when we see in Falcon and Winter Soldier he's finally ridden of that those trigger words for him. That was a really powerful scene. He's a really awesome character, one of my favorite parts of Winter Soldier, and it was so great to see him in Brave New World, and I cannot wait to see him in Thunderbolts. And number 9 is going to go to Sam Wilson. I just love this character so much. I think that him as Captain America is such a great choice for Marvel, and I'm really happy that they did that. And I read some comics of Sam Wilson as Captain America, and it is really awesome storytelling, and I love how different he is as Captain America, but I also love him as Falcon, and seeing him as Falcon in the Winter Soldier and Infinity War and Endgame, being the person who says on your left, so awesome. And he's one of the most fun parts of Winter Soldier, and his story that was told in Falcon and Winter Soldier is one of my favorites. Number 8 is going to go to Thor. I think that the storytelling on this character is so well done. Although it may not have been great in Love and Thunder, I think that what we got from all the way back in Thor 1 through up until Avengers Endgame was really just awesome storytelling for Thor. I really hope that we see him in Avengers, because right now I don't think he's confirmed to be in there, and I really am interested to see where they're going to take that character further in the future. Number 7 is going to be the best villain in the MCU, Thanos. I think that he is the best and most well-written villain that we've gotten for the MCU. I think that he is just seeing his story play out in Infinity War, having that film mainly be a Thanos film, was a brilliant choice from the Russo brothers. And the journey that we see him go on, we see him in the first Avengers film, and we know what he's doing, and then we get to see the plan get fulfilled. It's just so crazy, and he is the most impactful villain and one of the most impactful characters in the MCU. I really hope the MCU can do him justice and one up him with Doctor Doom, but I'm not sure if they're gonna ever one up this. Number 6 is going to go to Steve Rogers. I grew to love this character over the years for so many different things. I love this character in Endgame. I think his character is awesome in Infinity War, Civil War, Winter Soldier, First Avenger, whatever. He is awesome in all of these films, and I think that the journey that his character goes on is another great and well written character. And seeing him kind of just be on the run for a few years and then him come back, it's just so cool and so fascinating. I love that. And the Captain America character goes on some crazy journeys in the MCU, and they are some of the most impactful for me. I love them, and I love Steve Rogers. And number 5 is going to have to go to Rocket Raccoon. His story and his origin story is the saddest in the MCU and one of the saddest in comic book projects that I've seen. It is heartbreaking. James Gunn did a brilliant job telling that story and making the whole Guardians trilogy really at its core about him. And I really, really think that that is just awesome. And it's my favorite Guardian. Number 4 is going to go to John Bernthal's Punisher. I love this character. I just recently watched season 1 and 2 of The Punisher for the first time leading up to Born Again. And let me tell you, season 1 of Punisher is just as good as season 1 of Daredevil. I loved that show, and I think that the fact that John Bernthal got his own show is heavily deserved. And I really hope that Marvel makes season 3 to that show because it's so good. John Bernthal is the Punisher. He is perfect. And he is just as perfect as Punisher as Charlie Cox is to Daredevil or as Ryan Reynolds is to Deadpool. And it is just mind-blowing to me how good of an actor and how underrated of an actor John Bernthal is. And I am so excited to see him in Daredevil Born Again. And number 3 is going to go to Iron Man. The journey that he goes on from kicking off the MCU to ending the Infinity Saga is so awesome. And I just enjoy watching that every single time. And the first Iron Man is awesome. Avengers Endgame is awesome. Although he may not have had the most perfect second and third film, I think that his appearances in so many other movies and just his personality, his suits, and the journey that he goes on with the little details of him improving the suits of all the mistakes that he's made over time. So many great things. And number 2 is going to go to Charlie Cox's Daredevil. I love Daredevil. It's my favorite Marvel show. It's one of my favorite Marvel projects. He's in my top 5 favorite comic book characters of all time, favorite superheroes. I love him, and I love the first 3 seasons of that show. Again, super excited for Born Again. I really hope they don't mess it up. But Charlie Cox's Daredevil is just awesome, and he is never going to be undefeated. He is a perfect casting for that character. I am so excited to see where he goes in Born Again because it looks like it's going to be just as good, but we got to hope and wait. And it has some of the best seasons of television, and I just love Daredevil. Number 1 is going to come as no surprise to anybody, but it's going to be Spider-Man. But more specifically, Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man, because I know I said Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire are going to count in this ranking because they have it in the MCU, so they're a part of the MCU now. Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man is amazing. I don't care what anybody says. I really enjoy the first TASM movie. I think that it is so good. May not have been a perfect origin story for him, but overall, that movie isn't that bad, and it is one of my favorite Spider-Man films. It's probably in like my top 6 maybe for Spider-Man movies, but Amazing Spider-Man 2, heavily underrated. It's a very fun movie because I think that the good in that film overshadows the bad. The story between him and Gwen is awesome. His new suit is awesome. We get some of the best swinging. We get some of the best action sequences. We get one of my favorite opening sequences. It's so good. So good. And there are a lot of unnecessary things in the Amazing Spider-Man films, but overall, Andrew Garfield, we need you back for TASM 3, man. He deserves better, and I feel like TASM 2 does not get enough love. And I feel like the whole TASM duo does not get enough love. But guys, that is my top 10 MCU characters. Let me know in the comments below what you thought and what your ranking is for your top 10 MCU characters. I would like to know in the comments down below because I feel like my list is going to be very different from a lot of other people's. So let me know what you thought and what your ranking is. And with all that being said, don't forget to like and subscribe, comment down below, like the video, turn on notifications, share this with your friends. And with all that being said, I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.